Welcome to Amazing Devotions for Men. These amazing devotions are lessons from men of the Bible, men like you or men you are acquainted with. They are from all walks of life. These lessons are a compilation of Bible characters that has been documented in a devotional for men entitled A Legacy. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. This quote was taken from the book Education, page 57 by E.G. White. Today's devotion is taken from the book of Judges, chapters 6 through 8 of the Bible. It is an account about the life of Gideon and the lessons he learned of what it took for him to have courage, despite the hardships he and the children of Israel were going through. As a result of their unfaithfulness to God, Israel found themselves once again in a spiritual and financial dilemma. In His mercy, God looked for a man whom He could use to deliver them from their afflictions, and that man was Gideon. God did not use Gideon because of his prominence or his resourcefulness in surviving hardship, but at a time when he was discouraged and felt that God had abandoned the children of Israel. Cherishing the accounts of Israel's deliverance from Egypt and the promise of prosperity, Gideon was disillusioned and lost all faith in God for allowing the children of Israel to be oppressed by their enemies. He challenged God's loyalty toward Israel and expressed perplexity in understanding why they had been forsaken. It is difficult for an oppressed man to maintain his faith, particularly when he believes in a God who cares for him and has promised to protect and support him. Gideon might have sincerely prayed for relief and deliverance of the afflictions the children of Israel were experiencing, but to no avail. It is also difficult for a man today to continue believing in a loving God when he is going through a rough time and his prayers are not being answered. In connection to his situation, he might have also questioned God's faithfulness. Gideon was discouraged and disturbed by the lengthy suffering of his people, but God taught him that all of the energy he spent being angry and resentful toward him could be used to deliver Israel from their oppressors. God could have defended himself by explaining to Gideon the reasons for the children of Israel's suffering, but he did not. Rather, a loving God challenged him to use the same boldness he expended toward him to deliver Israel and promised that he would support him. In the same situation, men blame God for their suffering and wait on him to drop miracles in their laps. They sit with outstretched arms for deliverance from their troubled lives, which they had initially brought on themselves through a sinful lifestyle. The lessons that Gideon learned can also be applied to men today. The first step toward Gideon's personal deliverance was a spiritual reformation. God directed Gideon to begin the reformation with his father's idolatry. The second step was family reconciliation. All the 12 tribes were related, but at the time were alienated from each other. In obedience, Gideon successfully reformed the children of Israel and united them into an organized military force that would later conquer their oppressors and save themselves from the hand of their enemies. God was with Gideon as he had promised, and he will also be with you when you take the same steps as Gideon to overcome the negatives in your life. If your faith has been tried through suffering, and you are discouraged as Gideon was, take the steps toward deliverance by being like him and accept God's challenge to conquer oppression, and then you will experience miracles and blessings. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. For the Lord will not cast off forever. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 26 and 31. Thank you for watching the Amazing Devotions channel. Your continued support is appreciated. The next devotion continues with the life of Gideon, who learns that with God, it takes only a few good men to win a war. This account is found in the book of Judges, chapters 7 and 8 of the Bible. By subscribing, you won't miss any of these amazing daily devotions. Remember to tell the men in your lives about lessons from amazing men of the Bible.